Okay. Are we all here? Are we?
Maybe.
Are we on the interwebs?
We're on the interwebs, and I'm a bear.
Well, on the interwebs, nobody knows you're a bear. Or a dog. Or an all-kobold campaign. Hello, and welcome to Pack Tactics Season 3.
No, I think they know we're an all-kobold campaign.
Well, they do now. This is a homebrew 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign with a lot of Spelljammer. Spelljammer is still not confirmed for official 5th edition use, but we didn't let that stop us. Actually, it'd be kind of hard to stop a lot of things. We're not going to talk about the giant robots today, probably. And any IP infringement that may or may not have occurred at the insistence of certain very incorrigible kobolds who are not even named Chroma, which is amazing. My name is Crash.
Wait, what did I do?
Sorry.
You
Wait,
didn't
what
do
did
anything.
I not do?
You didn't decide you were going to try to get the owners of Power Rangers very angry at our small channel.
I'm not even sorry.
I know you're not sorry. If you were sorry, I would wonder where the real Chris was.
Fair.
Speaking of, my name is Crash. I'll be your DM for the evening, and with us tonight are a bunch of awesome people, including Chris, Ellie, Io, Jen, Cindy. Beth is hanging out in chat. And what happened over a month ago?
Oh, wow. It's been a while, yeah.
Negotiations are on hold on account of soup.
Yes.
That is literally the long and short of it.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, I'm favoriting this
are
shift.
in fact on hold on account of soup.
Well, not just soup.
Also, I need to change my name in Discord because I am not currently playing Philofi. That would be a very different game.
Let me do it, Captain.
I mean, still a lot of time spent in the vacuum of space. Your cleric is not a hologram, though. Or are they? No, they're not. Or are they? It turns out I was a hologram all along.
I don't think we have a cleric.
Max?
Retired.
Still was in the party and was a cleric.
True.
But we don't
Very
have
true.
a cleric, we had a cleric.
Ellie, I'm not sure I like that image.
That is fascinating. It's fascinating.
I want to say that is image manipulation, but I would not be surprised if that's just architectural tomfoolery.
The photograph itself is unmanipulated, but the architect printed out, took pictures of the building, manipulated the pictures on a computer, printed them out, and hung them on the outside of the building.
Okay.
I love and hate everything about this. And I also appreciate that this is an audio format and we're talking about a photograph of a building.
Right. Yeah.
I love everything about this. Our audience might disagree, but I don't do this for them. Wait, that came out wrong. We have a Patreon. Okay, moving forward. Yes, you went down to the surface to have a negotiation with Skelvar because it's kind of good to have an alliance with elves, especially when there's space elves attacking you. Yes, space elves. Said space elves, who prefer to be referred to as the Elf Armada, because that's what they're called in 2nd edition Spelljammer, are starving because they're trapped on this side of the crystal sphere that surrounds all of circular space, and they're kind of running out of food. So they came down to Skelvar to also negotiate for food. It seemed like you were starting to reach an agreement to say, hey, you know what? We were kind of trying to prevent you from getting like armaments and reinforcements, but we can't really agree to just let you starve to death. So yeah, food's okay. And then lunch was served. Well, in Soviet Russia...
It served itself.
In Soviet Russia, the lunch serves you, or rather, it is served against you, because the servants whom Adri did not recognize, Adri Nyfries, who happens to be the Skelvar negotiator, or ambassador, or diplomat, or they wear a lot of hats, not inside though. It's a cultural thing. Said, hey, I don't know these people, and that's when the mushroom soup attacked. It's far better than the last time a water-based elemental was used. Although this time it's being used against you, not for you. But oh well. What do you say we do this wonderful little thing that I like to call rolling for initiative?
Where's my character sheet?
Okay, I see a 25 for Neri. This is my surprised face.
Thanks, D&D Beyond.
And Zach's got a 14. Kendrick's got an 11.
11.
Chroma got a 10.
Okay, ignore that second roll. I was just trying to remember how to use D&D Beyond. Yes, if you want to keep my 22 instead of my 11, I'll take it.
Well, Codberry got it too. What was that, Ellie?
I said it's very valid until I have to relearn how to use D&D Beyond.
Yeah, it's been a little while. Real life has affected a lot of us. Pollen can die in a fire.
Hopefully.
Literally, in
It
some cases.
hasn't. It hasn't died in a fire.
It can die in the rain. Will you take dying in the rain?
There was rain today.
Yay!
That usually helps.
We had rain the other day where, as I was walking from my car back into my apartment, you could see where the puddles were because there was a serpentine outline of yellow. And on that horrid note, Neri, there is a mushroom soup elemental. I love that I get to say this. And 4 waitstaff who don't seem to want to wait and also might actually want to kill you. Maybe. Possibly. What would you like to do?
Let me double check something. How far is the mushroom soup elemental from everybody else?
Well, you are all at the table, and it's kind of the entire surface of the table.
Can I... Is there a spot I can aim at
Many.
that will hit the mushroom soup elemental, but not hit a point within... Oh, no, that's not how it works.
If you're looking to angle a shot so that you're less likely to hit an ally, but definitely hit the mushroom soup elemental, it's a medium size and on top of a table, and you're a kobold who isn't.
That's true. I want to hit it and not hit anything within 10 feet of it, is the issue.
If you're talking an area of effect, the answer to that is no.
That's what I thought. All right.
If you gave everyone warning and then waited around, there would be multiple attacks of opportunity provoked. Assuming everyone got out of the way.
Well, then I've got the target in my sights, and I'm going to shoot arrows at it.
It's a bold strategy. Let's see if it works.
This is going to look like daggers, because I'm taking the -5. It's a 15
will not hit.
and a 13.
A 13 will also not hit.
Okay.
I should hope so, because if...
We're going by golf rules. Just this once we're doing facking.
Then I'm going to use my bonus action to curve my shot.
Going
About
for
an 18.
birdie?
Will an 18 hit one of the servants?
Yes.
Okay. Then that will do 1d6 plus 8 plus 10. Now, I want to make sure I'm doing the math right. I'm sorry. So, 23 damage and...
They don't like that.
5 poison damage, and the servant is surrounded by grasping vines.
No, they're not. I mean, they did come here for an argument. But also, the grasping vines are grasping around nothing. As soon as you hit them and the vines attach around, they vanish.
Huh.
Servant or the vines?
The servant.
Okay.
That is a weirder answer.
Yeah.
Maybe a better answer, but a weirder answer.
Not necessarily a better answer, because it could be invisible.
That, or maybe they were a Fig Newton of your imagination. They
Are
served
the
the
vines
dessert.
are the vines still in place, or do they sort of collapse to the ground?
Let's say, for the sake of flavor, that the vines collapse to the ground. They're definitely not holding on to anything.
Okay, so it's not invisible. That's good to know. And that's my turn.
Turning invisible wouldn't help. Then you'd be in the vines and invisible.
By the way, I really like that spend a bonus action to hit someone else ability.
Okay. So
You are
that-
a hard fighter. Just hit things, kind of what you do.
Yeah. The problem is, I can only use it if I miss. So,
Oh,
this is Neri we're talking about, which is I imagine this isn't going to come up very frequently.
well, I just missed twice in a round. So.
Fair. That's fair.
I'm rolling on the low roll, so nobody else has to.
Let's go with that. So it's the soup elementals attack. Ew, I forgot it had this ability. Okay, it is going to use a multi-attack. It reaches out a pseudopod of an arm, and it extends in a way where it's suddenly holding something that looks like a trident. And it decides to go stabby stabby,
Ooh.
Like you do.
as one does. And it is going to attempt to stabby stabby. Who is it going to stabby stabby? I got
Me?
For some reason I enjoy saying stabby stabby a bit too much.
You seem really gleeful as you say it.
I mean, I might not be the one who declares murder before most games.
Or threaten to go.
Murder.
We're going to have it go after Adri.
Oh.
Is it bad that I'm actually okay with that?
I'm not.
Considering the player's past history with Adri.
Somewhere in Skelvar, just Amara suddenly has a smile. Just go across her face.
Why don't I have the ability to roll this attack? Oh, wait, that's why I don't have that ability. I was looking at the wrong character sheet. Okay, so the first attack is a natural 1.
I could be a giant troll right now, but I'm not.
It hurt itself in confusion.
Second attack
I caught that reference. Sorry.
is going to go after the bear now. That's an 18.
Bears surprisingly have very low AC, so that's a hit.
Okay.
Yeah, they have low AC, but they have a lot of health.
Yes, you are going to take 8 points of piercing damage from that, and an extra 5 points of cold damage. And the third attack is going to go not for the bear now, it's going to go for the time wizard.
Okay.
That's a 14.
Nice.
Okay. So also, Miss Bear, no one can get between the bear and its cub. Okay? just saying.
JR?
There could be a problem.
Love that I'm constantly referred to as.
If something hurts JR, I will murder them.
You know, I'm not certain that Chroma has inspiration, but I'm certain that Chroma has inspiration.
I like being the time with.
When you got hit by the 5 points of cold damage, your speed is reduced by 10 feet until the end of the water elemental's next turn.
I'm pretty sure I have inspiration, but I don't know how to tap the inspiration on this app. It's just got a little bubble.
And
Yes,
my
you have
speed has
inspiration.
been reduced from 40 to the average humanoid of 30.
Also, I don't think this room is large enough where that's going to be an issue.
Yeah, no, we're good.
I'm a bear. I can make the room large enough if we need to.
That's the attitude.
Adri would like it if you did not make the room large enough.
However, Amara would.
It's not Adri's room. Let's see. What's going to happen next? Neri,
Yes.
can you make a saving throw for me?
What sort of saving throw?
It's going to be wisdom saving throw.
How's a 15 do?
It has exactly the number you needed. Also, the servant that you injured happens to be standing right behind you, and they cast a spell which apparently did nothing. They look somewhat embarrassed, but not really.
Aaron,
Yes?
can I ask that if an enemy's casting a spell, you say it, just because I have counterspell prepared for that exact
Okay.
reason.
Understood. When they started casting the spell, they were also invisible, so you didn't get to see them standing in the back wiggling their fingers.
Ah, that is fair. That makes more sense.
Yes. They use an ability that let them turn invisible and teleport.
Ah.
Yes.
See, I told you. I knew it. I called it.
Okay, and next up is a spell that's going to be cast by a different servant, who is not invisible, and therefore you can see them.
I need to know if it's something's worth a counter spell.
Well, you see them casting a spell, you don't know what it is yet. By the time you know, it'll be too late. So,
Okay, I've never played like that, but okay. No, I'll save it then. I'll leave it.
Okay. It is an Eldritch Blast.
Oh, my ring's lighting up. I should stop popping the bubbles on my fidget.
Oh.
I was always in favor of the clicky fidgets. I had too much fun with them.
Straws mostly for me when it's the clicking noises.
Let's see, what's the spellcasting level? Where is the information on here that says what their spellcasting level is? That determines how many Eldritch Blasts they get to throw at you. Oh, here we go. 11th level. So that means they get 3 shots, and they're going for the bear, because you're a bear now. The first attack is a 19.
That's a hit.
Second attack is a 24.
That's still a hit.
Third attack is an 18.
All 3 hit.
Okay.
I'm a bear. My AC's like 11.
Yes, but your HP is yes.
Yes.
Okay, so that is going to be 3d10 force damage, 16. Wait, hold on. Oh, they've added something new to the encounter tracker. I don't have to have you see all of my rolls. I can send the results just to myself. Oh, this is a quality of life improvement. I approve. All right, so that was servant number 2. Servant number 3.
I'm still a bear, but I'm almost not a bear.
Servant number 3 is going to cast Vicious Mockery on a chroma. They insult your fashion sense by wearing half plate.
Hey! I built this myself!
Well, it's also a wisdom saving throw.
Chroma's ego is way too strong for Vicious Mockery.
I think so, yeah.
No, it's not. I have a wisdom save of -1.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, ego is charisma. Wisdom is understanding that rockets should not always be used against single targets.
But it's more fun when you do.
Okay, and
Roma
that's a
also
9.
used a decanter of endless water as a thruster.
That is 7 points of what kind of damage is that?
Psychic.
Yep, psychic damage.
Where are my hit points? Oh, they're up there.
And the last of the interlopers, and the DM breathes a sigh of relief, is going to send 3 Eldritch Blasts at Zax.
Okay.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Probably.
Yes. The first roll is an 11, so probably.
Yeah. I'm armor class 17, so that missed.
That's a nat 20.
That one'll hit.
Can I use a reaction to cast... where is it? Chrono Shift, forcing it to reroll?
Sure. And then the third roll was a 10. And the reroll is a 3.
Oh.
So there's Eldritch Blasts going everywhere. It's like you're in the middle of the most evil of raves. But no one's getting hit by anything. Well, except for the bear.
It's okay.
Zax, you are in a target-rich environment. Would you like to do something about that?
I would like to rage.
You rage against the
Somebody
rave.
throw something at me. Yeah. Let me mark that. Okay, so I'm gonna go after the one that just tried to hit me 3 times and missed, and I'm gonna smack him with the Hammer of Thunderbolts.
Okay. I'm sure it'll be fine. For you.
Yeah, okay, that's a 15 plus 12 for a 27 to hit.
You hit it a lot.
See, I told you I was using up all the rolls.
There you go. All right, damage is 17,
Okay.
and I get 2 actions, so I'm going to do it again.
Well, 2 attacks in 1 action, rather.
Oh,
but yes.
yeah. That, yeah.
Oh, that's a
okay.
21.
That's a 21. And damage this time is 13 total.
Okay. So
all I
they and the one that Neri hit are both bloodied.
We ready for the DM, because I have genuinely forgot the answer to this. Reactions, do they come back at the top of the initiative, or do they come back on the player's turn?
At the start of the player's turn, I believe.
Start of the player's turn. Thank you. Just wanted to clarify.
Yep. All of your abilities refresh at the beginning of your turn, unless otherwise stated.
Wunderbar.
Yes. Next up is... Sorry. Next up is...
I was
Adrian.
double checking and searched for reaction, and the first result was Xanathar's Guide to Everything, talking about the reaction when a new sorcerer is born in the world.
Oh, that's not it at all for this.
that helps no one.
I mean, somewhere maybe, but not
I'm
here.
fairly certain that doesn't reset at the top of the turn.
No, we don't want that.
Every
to
time a turn begins, a sorcerer gets their wings. If they're draconic sorcerer, specifically if they're a draconic sorcerer.
If they're the right level.
Also, yes, they do need to be the right level. And also, they may have already gotten their wings from a dragon god. It depends on the specific sorcerer you're talking about.
Somewhere Zelie is flicking her wings on and off at the top of the round for some reason.
Every 6 seconds, there's a dragonfly. Is there a reason you're doing that?
I don't know. I just feel like I should.
Okay, because yes, I know it's another thing that you can do that I can't. But still, it feels like you're rubbing it in just a little bit. In any case, it is Adri's turn. Adri's having none of this, so Adri is going to cast Flesh to Stone, because why the heck not? That's a nat 20 con save, so it does nothing.
Oof.
Yes. Kendrix.
Okay, the one that was in the back, puddling its fingers around.
Yes.
The one that went invisible and then became visible.
Yes, who is also bloodied.
Oh, good. Firebolt.
They don't like that.
No, I don't think it would. Oh, especially when it's a 24 to hit.
Yeah, that's going to hit.
Okay, 3d10.
They cast shield, and that does absolutely nothing.
16 points of fire damage.
They are still alive, but very badly burned.
Yeah. Fire. Do I have a bonus action I could utilize, y'all?
This is when we find out that Kendrix took just enough levels in Cleric to cast Spiritual Weapon.
You have no idea how much I have actually considered that on this character. And it's terrifying that you've said that. Get out of my head. I don't have any bonus actions. So I will just... oh, wait, hold on. Is that a bonus action? Is Cower a bonus action? Is Grovel a bonus action? Is that a thing?
Grovel,
it's
Cower,
an
and Beg is an action.
I
Unfortunately.
wasn't sure. I wanted to have a gander. No, okay, it's a bonus action. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, it's great at level 1 when your action doesn't really do much, but at level 11, it doesn't make any sense to use it in most cases.
Yeah. In fairness, I don't think we've ever used it.
I've had a character use it once, I think, and it ended up not being very significant. With that said, speaking of the opposite of that, Chroma, it is your turn.
As a point, I don't think any of us have been rolling an advantage because of pack tactics. Again.
Oh.
That is a spot on the bingo card for this game particularly. Everyone forgets the name of the show.
Yeah.
We are the worst at this.
But we're also pretty tough. I mean, do we need the extra at this point?
3 seasons of pack tactics, and we still forget.
Yeah.
Let's think of it this way. Natural 20, 3d10 damage. That doubles. It's worth it.
Okay.
With that said, Chroma, you are still in a target-rich environment.
I apologize for this in advance and promise to fix it afterwards. Scorching Ray!
Get him, Ray.
No. It's the ray that gets scorched.
I should hope not, because that would mean my gun exploded. Okay, I am going to aim the first one at the one who cast Vicious Mockery on me.
Okay.
That's a 25. I'm assuming Pack Tactics is canceling out the disadvantage from failing my save against Vicious Mockery.
Okay. Yep, sure. That is the rule for how advantage works.
Doesn't remember how it works.
I don't usually play Warlocks.
No, you don't. That's usually my go-to.
And that is 5 fire damage.
Okay. You call that a scorching ray? Roll another wisdom saving throw versus... No, that's not true. That's not happening. That's not how the mechanics work. How it works is they tell you, oh, yeah, that part's on back order.
Okay, and... Aha, that's how you roll at advantage. Because it's just my next attack, and I have 3 more Scorching Ray attacks to make.
A 17 will hit.
17.
The best part is That's 4 more points of damage. The best part
There
is
should be more
because of-
damage. There should be more damage. I should roll I think a D8. I forgot my sidearm. I think sidearm is D8. Yeah, that's 8 more fire damage.
Okay. The part that I appreciate is specifically the sidearm, because canonically what's happening is you pull out a gun and shoot them a lot.
Uh-huh. My gun fires scorching rays. And also a lot of other things sometimes. That is a dirty 20, so that's going to be 3 more fire damage. Come on.
Okie dokie.
And that's 6 more. I did not do a lot of damage.
You did collectively a lot of damage. It's death by a billion flaming paper cuts.
More
we
like
have a lot
death
of
by a
fire.
billion D6s that won't roll very high.
Yeah, I
Well-
never realized we actually have a lot of fire damage in our group.
They're not bloodied, but they're close to it. And they were at a full tank before you started.
I'm sorry, did you expect me to not do fire damage to things?
No, I didn't realize how much fire damage this group actually had. We have a lot.
This group has me in it.
That's fair. That's
Crow's got a
actually really
point.
fair. It's actually really fair. I retract my statement.
And is there anything else that you do? And
Who are you
bonus
asking?
actions?
You?
Oh, bonus actions. Do I have bonus No, I don't have bonus actions because I don't have my turret up. Wait, do I have my turret up?
You did not bring your turret up last session, so no, you don't have your turret up yet.
Okay. In that case, I don't have my turret up, so I don't have any bonus actions.
Okay.
Unless someone wants me to cast Sanctuary.
You could ask the bear. But if not, it's the bear's turn.
All right, so of my enemies, which one appears to have taken the most damage?
The one behind Neri who looks to be regretting a significant number of their life choices.
All right, then I'm charging the one behind Neri and doing a multi-attack, so...
I'm not sure you will need to.
All right, so that's a 22 on my bite attack.
Roll your damage. Actually, what's your plus to damage?
Plus 4.
Okay. If you roll a 1 for damage, you turn them into a red smear. How do you want to do this?
I'm a bear, so just rip them in two, I guess.
I'm a bear.
Okay.
Yeah, bears are not known for their finesse in combat. But
Okay.
we get things done.
It's a good thing that this is a magical realm where prestidigitation is a thing. Because let's face it, it's gonna be needed for the
I have
walls
some.
and the floor and the ceiling
And the high elf.
and the bear and Neri, who is right there. She was right there.
And probably no one can eat that soup now.
Also, there is a Neri-shaped silhouette where there is no blood.
I mean, Neri doesn't care about getting blood on her.
It makes firing with the bow just a little bit trickier. That's all. So, yeah. Anything else?
Well, as a bear, my options are kind of limited, but... So, I think that's my turn.
Okay, because there's other targets that you could attack, and you had multi-attack. That was only one strike.
Okay, I wasn't
I think
sure
they need
exactly how
movement.
multitask worked, but yeah, in that case, I'll go ahead and send my claws to the next most damaged opponent.
Okay, so I know that this means that you're going to go over to the next opponent and attack them with what's left of your movement. But I had this thought of you just holding up your paw and the claws lift
Rocket
up.
claws.
Oh no, you are the Megazord.
All right, so let's see. So this is another D20 plus 6, and I keep losing track of which tab I have D&D Beyond open in. So
A
that's
19
a
will hit.
25.
That
I
will
think
hit.
you said that was a hit.
Yep.
Okay, so my claws do a little bit more damage than my bite does, so glad I saved this for a second. So that's a 10 on the dice and a plus 4, so 14.
Okie doke. They don't like that. For some reason, Gorga likes it. Gorga's not here right now. Although Gorga is in the right country, not the right location. And did you have a third attack or no?
No, just the one bite and the 2 claws.
Okay, because I thought you only hit with one set of claws that time.
Well, it says it. Okay, the way the stat block works down is that it sounds like it's flavored to be 2 claws, but it's mechanically only 1.
Okay. I will not question it any more than I already have. Next up is the captain's turn. He is going to weigh his options, consider the pros and cons, send things to a committee.
Isn't this committee on the other side of the crystal sphere?
Wait, okay, so he might have to expedite things. Okay, how about Cone of Cold? Cone of Cold sounds like a great idea.
Oh, no.
It's angled in a nice way. Let's put it this way. Neri is not going to get frostbite from the Cone of Cold. Neri has enough problems. That is going to be a Constitution save for the water elemental. Well, mushroom elemental. And that is 19 on the die. Well, that's a 19 total. What's the save DC? Is this half damage? Yes, half damage. So that's 8d8 divided by 2. That's a lot of dice. Okay, 23 points of cold damage to the mushroom elemental. And that's the captain's turn. Now it is JR's turn. JR is an actual character sheet, so I can't click in the encounter tracker to see JR's abilities. The DM forgets this literally every time JR is in combat. Every single time. One moment. I am scrolling to find the thing that I can click on to activate the thing. JR is not using Divine Sense. JR already knows where the threats are. Or do they? Yes, they do. That is a nat 1 to attack, so all that build up for nothing. Never mind. Okay, that's JR's turn. It is Neri's turn again.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna attack everybody.
Please don't.
I will shoot arrows at all 3 of the servants and the mushroom elemental.
Oh, that everybody.
Yes. And again, this is gonna look like daggers.
Dagger-shaped arrows. They're custom-made. A 25 will hit, so will a 23, so will a 21, and so will a 25. Please do the DM a favor and roll damage once, and the DM will put that damage in for all of them.
Sure.
Can we just say the damage is infinity?
No.
I don't think I want to be in the room if someone's doing infinite damage.
So that's 9 plus 10 is 19 to each of them.
Okay, you do kill one of the servants.
Which one?
I think the one that failed at Eldritch Blasting.
Okay.
So how do you want to do
And the arrow through the face.
Okay. They weren't facing you, but the arrow still manages to go through their face. It is the worst piercing. And you've also bloodied one of the other ones.
And I'm going to put Hunter's Mark on the elemental.
Outside, a bunch of elves on the ground point up at the tree at this giant red arrow that appears.
Red arrow.
Actually, no, it's medium size. That doesn't work as well.
I can see the edges of the arrow coming out of the sides of the tree.
It's just clipping a little bit. Like, what is that? I don't know. And then I go back to the drag race. And was there something else you were saying you were going to do?
No.
Okay.
That is my action surge, and my bonus action.
Okay. It is the water elemental's turn. Let's see if it recharges. It does not recharge its ability that it used before. All right, that's fine. It is going to go for Neri with all 3 of its attacks.
Okay.
That's a 25.
That'll hit.
That is a 13.
That will not.
And that is a 17.
That will not.
Okay, you take 8 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Next up is Sir Died-A-Lot. After them goes Sir Not Quite Dead Yet. And they are going to cast a spell. But which spell? There are so many to choose from. They are going to cast a spell on Chroma. Chroma, would you like to make a wisdom saving throw?
I would love to make a wisdom saving throw, but I doubt I will, considering my wisdom save is still -1.
If it makes you feel any better, it's not a vicious mockery.
I want to use a luck point, if I can find where they are.
You also have your inspiration.
I'm going to use a luck point.
Okay.
And,
Okay, a 9's not going to do it either.
I could use my inspiration.
You could. The question is, do you?
No.
Okay. You are paralyzed.
I should have used my inspiration.
All right. And then they use a bonus action to cast another spell, and they are gone. Next up is Sir Only Slightly Dead. And they are going to... Let's see, what are they going to do? They're going to do multiple Eldritch Blasts to the bear. That would be a 14. Does a 14 hit the Druid Bear?
Yes.
Okay. A second Eldritch Blast is going to be a dirty 20. And the third Eldritch Blast is going to be another 14. So that is going to be 3d10.
I had like 5 hit points left as a bear, so yeah, I'm de-beared now.
Okay.
Remember,
And you take 10 points after you stop being a bear.
Yeah.
And then this spellcaster uses a bonus action and casts a spell, and they are also gone.
Has it been my turn yet?
No.
Not this round, no.
Have I used the reaction this round?
What's that?
Have I used the second reaction yet?
I don't remember.
You used a reaction. You used one reaction
crap.
this turn.
You used a reaction when one of them was attacking Zax to make them re-roll, and then you had a turn and have not used a reaction since then.
Character spell.
Okay, so the one that was injured the least outside of the water elemental goes to cast a bonus action spell and then realizes that they're still here. And the look on their face is priceless. Zax, you are getting a real kick out of the look on their face, in part because it is also your turn.
Oh, good. Okay, so the one I was fighting is dead.
Well, they are suffering from a medical condition called arrow to the face.
But they're still up somehow?
No, it is unfortunately a terminal condition.
Okay. All right, so I can go after a different enemy then, because this one's dead. So
you have one servant, and you have a mushroom soup elemental.
Is the servant injured?
Yes. Not a
Okay.
whole lot, but yes.
Okay,
They are
well, we
suffering
can
from arrow
change
to the designated good guy damage area.
Okay.
Like a
I'm
shoulder
gonna go
or
after
something.
that one before they start doing more magic stuff. So, yeah, I'm gonna hit him with the hammer because it worked so well last time.
Okay.
And that's 14 plus 12 for a 26. Will that hit?
Yes. You hit it a
Okay.
lot.
Here's the damage. 19.
All right. So two things happen.
Okay.
One, they're bloodied.
Okay.
Two, they use a reaction
Okay.
to disappear.
Yeah, I can't stop it this time.
Also, it's not technically a spell.
Oh, if it's not a spell, then the counterspell wouldn't have went through.
Well, how they were trying to disappear before was from a bonus action that was a spell. This is a reaction.
Oh, right, okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, well,
The beings who you are fighting aren't statted character sheets. They are from one of the manuals with monsters in it. So
okay.
it's the rule. It says what class they are, but the class is wibbly wobbly classy wassy.
Okay.
If they keep teleporting, I'm just going to call them Nightcrawler.
Well, good news. There's none left to teleport. Ellie, why?
Yeah.
Ellie, why have you posted this?
If I have to suffer, everybody has to suffer.
Okay, that is... I understand that reasoning because I have used that reasoning, but I regret having used that reasoning in the past because of this image. And if my dear listeners wish to understand what image has been shared, I'm sorry, I'm not telling
No.
you.
No.
You know what you do with all that pain? You hold it in your hand until it burns. And you say, no one else will have to suffer this way. I'm sorry,
right.
that is our Doctor Who quote for the evening.
Okay. So I have a second action. Can I...
Do you have water elemental?
Yeah, that's where I'm going. All right, so let's see if I can hit it with the Hammer of Thunderbolts.
I'm going to guess yes.
Probably. It's a 24 to hit.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
is
that
this
a
thing
hit.
frozen right now, too? Or?
It took some cold damage, so there's bits of ice in it. It's a slushy. It's
a
a
slushy.
mushroom soup slushy.
Great. And that's 18 damage.
Okay.
And that's the end of my turn.
By the way, I can think of a few things more disgusting, but still technically edible than a mushroom soup slushy. In case anyone's wondering. I can think of plenty of things that are worse, but they're all not edible. This is edible and still gross.
I do
Okay.
not want the mushroom slushy.
Wait, we
There's
will.
an out of context quote if I've ever heard one.
Well, there's a few good ones tonight. There are definitely a few good ones tonight. So EO and I will be over here in camp. No mushroom slushy. That will mean more for the rest of you. So choose. Okay, it is
Despite
Adrian's
what
turn.
my character might have you believe, I actually don't like mushrooms myself.
That's kind of amusing,
I
actually.
do, and I still don't want the mushroom slushy. Possibly,
try the mushroom
especially
slushy.
because I like mushrooms. I do not want the mushroom slushy. I do not want mushrooms to be ruined for me.
Oh.
Okay, so that's going to be a DC 16 charisma save. Let's see how good the water elemental is. Okay, so Adri says, okay, I've had enough of you. And she snaps her fingers, and the water elemental goes away.
Oh, banishment!
Yes. I'm very glad that worked.
She learned something from when Amara did it.
I learned it from watching you! And everyone just looks at Adri pointing off in some direction. It's mostly at a wall. And Amara,
So
for some
we're-
reason, feels pleased and upset. Oh no, she can taunt. But
So we're out of servants, and the elemental is gone for a while.
well, it's not from this plane of reality. So when you cast banishment on an
Oh,
elemental,
right.
It doesn't.
it just goes home.
It's a neat trick.
It's a very neat trick. And oh, by the way, we've been playing for about an hour. What do you say we take a short break?
Yes.
I was going to say,
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to press some buttons.
let's make like a tree and heal some people.
We're back, but not from
We're
outer
back.
space this time. You're already back from outer space, but this break you didn't go back to outer space again. After the next break, you'll be back to outer space, probably, or you'll come at me from left field again, which is always enjoyable.
You say probably, which means that most likely we'll somehow get a submarine.
That will probably turn into like a giant fish robot or something, because why the heck not? Anyway, we are right in the middle of the aftermath of, right at the beginning rather, of the aftermath of this climatic battle. There are 2 corpses on the ground. Fortunately, no one you knew. And there's a lot of mushroom soup everywhere. There's also a lot of
Is there?
blood everywhere. Well,
I mean,
when the elemental was banished, the force that was controlling it went back to the elemental plane of water.
oh, but the mushroom soup itself stayed in the
Still
material.
here, so it's all over the
Yes,
place.
and was no
You're
longer
not eating the mushroom soup.
coherent. But yeah, but don't worry, there's a lot of blood everywhere too.
Of course.
Yeah.
So we have 2 bodies from the servants, right?
Yes. And
All
they're
right.
both wearing that strange symbol.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab that necklace off of one of them and walk over to. Is it Adri? I think.
Yes. Well, today she is.
Today it's okay. So I'm gonna walk over and hold it up. What is this? What is this symbol?
That's a little disturbing, actually. That's the symbol for followers of Gnarl. Gnarl's dead.
Okay, so they're worshiping a dead god.
Maybe you should update them.
Yeah. I don't really feel like casting a spell that would allow me to speak to the dead. I'm not a cleric. Also, Gnarl isn't just dead. Gnarl was killed by a kraken. The kraken is also dead.
All right, so this makes even less sense now. Like, what were these people doing?
Dying, apparently.
Well, yeah, that I got. That's what I do. That's what most of us do. But I mean, we caused that. But like, why? I don't get it.
Well, if they were true followers of Gnarl, Gnarl was a god of chaos. So not necessarily understanding what they're doing is kind of par for the course. But I'm still kind of confused about why they were here.
I mean, from what it seemed to murder us,
I'll grant you that.
being Captain Obvious here.
No,
Actually, the only captain is this guy over here.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think they were here to murder us.
Really?
I think they were here to murder everybody else in the room. But they couldn't possibly have predicted us.
See, so it was a good thing we showed up early.
I think you're right.
That's one possibility, but you said this guy's a god of chaos?
Well, oceans in chaos, but yes.
How does he feel about nopes?
Well, for
Or
a while
formless
he was,
blobs of meat?
for a while he was being impersonated by a kraken, so I imagine pro-nope in that incarnation.
The player can't remember the Skelvar elf's name. I'm sorry.
The Skelvar elf's name is Adri Nightbreeze,
Adri. Okay.
or at least today it is.
Adri, what would have happened if what would have happened if we hadn't shown up when we did and the cultists hadn't shown up?
The captain and Adri both look at each other, and they both kind of give a half shrug.
But what was the plan?
The plan was...
Captain, you showed up here to request Kobolditarian aid.
Well, no,
Adri.
but I wasn't expecting kobolds, to be quite honest. That seems to be a common thread. Not expecting kobolds seems to be mostly what we were doing.
We get that a lot.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Kind of, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I'm sorry. The term of currency. You were expecting
Aid. We were
Food and
expecting
water and-
provisions.
that sort of thing.
The water we can
You were
recycle.
hoping-
The food is a bit more important.
You were hoping for food. Adri, if they had, absent everything else, if they had asked for food, would you have given it to them?
We probably would have done some negotiating to set some terms, but likely,
Of course.
yes, that would have been the outcome.
So, I gotta check something. All right. Kendrick's intelligence is as high as my wisdom.
Yeah, it is.
So, either someone knew that the Elf Armada was coming to negotiate and wanted to attack, or someone didn't know the Elf Armada was coming to negotiate and wanted to attack Adri, or, and I'm putting this at a long shot, and tell me if I'm wrong, someone found out that we were showing up and panicked.
They assumed the Cobalt Chaos.
Okay, point of question. This might be a rabbit hole, but who invited us specifically?
That actually is a good question. I'm not sure I know that.
Don't know. I think we
We
got
were
sent.
sent down by Sniv, yeah.
Yeah.
Who set up this meeting between the Skelvar elves and the kobolds of the Ninth Bells?
Dad told me he couldn't make it, so he sent me.
Who's it? I'm sorry, what was the first name?
Dad.
Oh, okay. I legitimately, the player didn't hear you.
That would be...
The DM is checking his notes for what he decided to give as the first name for this character, who has Roland.
GM doesn't remember.
Right.
The DM has notes for a reason.
What was the name?
Roland. Rolen.
Ah.
Roland.
Currently the Secretary of Strategic Partnerships.
I don't like the way this looks.
Well, one second. Prestidigitation.
You're being literal.
This was a hit, but not on anyone in this room.
Maybe.
No,
Do you get along with your dad? I mean,
Usually? I mean, he got me my job
okay.
When was that?
a while ago?
Couple days? Couple months?
Years.
Couple decades?
Years. Oh, wow. Okay.
Decades, yeah.
Okay, so you weren't given this assignment out of nowhere this morning or anything suspicious like that.
Well, it did kind of come up very quickly. Yes, it was unexpected, but when elves from space come down and say hello, you don't exactly leave them waiting.
That's true.
Also, there's no way I was going to let Amara get this one.
Who's
I still don't like the way this
Never mind.
looks. Wait a minute.
I love that Amara has a nemesis.
Me too.
Kendricks, help me remember who was targeted during the combat.
Well, with my keen mind feat, I would remember exactly who was targeted in the combat and in which order. Aaron?
That's why I'm asking you.
Give me an insight check.
Okay. 17.
A lot of their strikes looked like they were in a target-rich environment, going for whatever worked. A lot of hits were going against the bear because bear.
Right.
I repeat this.
Okay, so this was probably a general attack.
So it was meant to be a disruption.
Yes.
But a disruption for what?
Right.
Is the question.
We need to check on the moon base.
Oh,
We need to check on the moon base, and we need to check on your father.
yeah, probably Sniv.
Well,
check
Sniv is
on
at
my
the moon
dad.
base, so...
Yeah, but not based in general, and then there's potentially assassination of the leader of the kobolds.
Adrian, you have a
closes her
reach
eyes
us?
for a few seconds and says, "Dad's fine."
How do you
Okay.
know?
I cast Standing to Sniv.
What do you say?
I had 25 words. Okay, well, Sniv.
Just mess with him and say you're gonna die. That was a joke.
Sniv, we were attacked during the negotiations. Possible distraction or bigger attack on Moonbase. Is everything okay there?
Okay. You get a reply.
Moon's haunted.
We seem to be under siege at the moment. You may have noticed the cloud giants that are hanging out on the moon. Otherwise, we're fine. Love you, bye.
I repeat what he said.
Except for the love you, bye. The love you, bye was
Except
not
the
canon.
love you bye part, because that's weird.
That's like the idea of people ending phone calls by saying love you, bye to people who they do not love at all. It's why it's become canon for a particular lich. Mm-hmm. Although that explanation is one of his underlings told him that is the current
That's what you say
process.
at the end of the
That's
call.
how you-
Yeah, that is
That's how you
what
end
you
a
say
call.
at the end. That's just the cultural thing. And he's old enough to have been out of the loop long enough to go, kids these days, and just go with it. He thinks he's being hip. Which makes it worse because he thinks hip is the correct way to describe it.
Oh my.
Captain, swear to me this isn't you.
No, that's a corpse.
No. How did you get to be captain?
A lot of hard work and knowing when that one should use an attempt at humor at levity. But in all honesty,
funny.
no, this was not me. I tend
all
to
right.
not have people try to attack the ones who I'm going to for assistance. That usually ends up with me getting a no as a response.
That was my thought as well. I just wanted to double check. All right, Captain, you've been played by the cloud giants.
Well, yes. Why do you think I came down here looking for food?
Right.
We didn't know that. All right. The kobolds have no objection to food being provided to the Alfarmida. We have some business to deal with on the moon. And Captain, if you would care to take a ride with us after this situation has been dealt with, we can show you why the moon should stay in orbit.
Somewhere on the moon, Sniv just gets a cold shiver down his spine. And I think this is a good spot to end it.
All right.
All right. So thank you, everyone, for playing. Thank you, everyone, for listening. This has been a fun game. Tonight I was joined by a bunch of awesome people, including Chris, Ellie, Jen, Cindy, EO.
EO?
I think I said EO, but yes, EO. Also, EO's sibling EO. And there might have been a third EO. There was an unspecified number of EOs. If I can reference a
Multi-EO.
yeah,
The world cannot handle all those EOs.
if I can reference a conversation that was had before EO arrived this evening, Archbeth was hanging out in chat. Is there anything that anyone wants to plug?
Not me.
EO's mom writes books. You can find them at elizabeth-mccoy.com.
I was wondering why
that's
Ellie
true.
wasn't doing that.
That's awesome.
Sorry, I forgot EO wasn't here.
I I do a fortnightly podcast talking about gaming and nerd things and all the things. It's Azeroth, ctc.com for Azeroth Coast to Coast.
I do a weekly podcast called Shattered Soulstones about Diablo games and things surrounding it and Blizzard Entertainment and all that kind of stuff. You can find it at shatteredsoulstone.com. I also have a website called Book of Gen at bookofgen.net. It too has a lot of Diablo stuff and many other things.
What I want to know is, in Eo's mom's books, does Eo's mom also refer to Eo's mom in the third person?
Weirdly, yes.
Considering how often the DM refers to the DM in the third person, this is not shocking.
All of Eo's mom's books are just credited Eo's mom. So Eo's mom, Queen of Roses.
So
Eo's mom, Herb Witch.
So how long before the domain eosmom.com is purchased and used to redirect?
Not gonna lie, that would be pretty cool.
That'd be neat.
Yeah. I'm almost tempted to do that.
We also have a Patreon, in case you're wondering. Patreon.com/CogwheelGaming. Help us keep the lights on, along with other illustrious patrons, including Chris, Cindy, Ellie, Eric, Janatalock, Mickey, Shanshen, and Walter. And until next time, this is Crash saying, why would they attack? That makes no sense. Unless... Dun dun dun! Good night, everybody.
Dun dun dun.
Dun 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 dun.